Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the light heavyweight bout between Negumereanu versus Ihor Potieria. And I see one right here between Negumereanu versus Potieria is, yeah, interesting. I feel like they kind of mirror each other in like a little bit, but I think Ihor Potieria just took it to a different level. Like he just took it to a different level. Like prior of his 22 fights, matter of fact, he even got lost to cans. Like he lost to cans. But even in his 22 fights, probably one fight out of that was not a can, or has not yet proven himself to be a can. But all other ones like straight up cans. Negumereanu, when he first came to UFC a couple years back, he got taken out to drive-by Sapar Saperbek Safarov, whatever his name is, Sapar Saperbek Safarov, or like I don't know, Safarov. I don't know how to pronounce the dude's name though. But that dude looked wild, or whatever the case may be. Was a mediocre fighter himself, UFC level wise, and really regional level at this point, mediocre even on that level at this point. But back then he wasn't that bad, or maybe on a regional level. But anywho, besides the point. But yeah, well, I know when Negumereanu stepped in the UFC, he was like 9-0. Now look at his record. His record was padded to the ceiling. And then he got schooled, took 2 years off for whatever reason, came back, got a win over Alexa Kimura, and then did he lose since he came back? Nah, he hasn't lost since he came back. Then he got a little bit of a gifted decision against Canadian Chuba. Both his wins were kind of gifted. The Alexa Kimura fight was a little bit gifted. He really just outworked him and was the one pushing the pace, pushing forward. Second fight, Canadian Chuba just wasn't drawing us, but he tried to turn up late in the third round, and that's probably why he lost that fight. So it really, but also he did it with like a cage grab or something. But anyway, it was a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, all I'm gonna say with this one, I'm dragging now, but all I'm gonna say with this one is Ihor Potieria, we haven't seen him go 3 rounds. All his wins was only decent win. He had a couple fights. Matter of fact, it's like he kind of, in most of his decision wins, even against scrubs, it'd be like split decision, struggle with these decisions against scrubs. So that kind of give me the thought, the analysis that maybe this man, or the assumptions allow me to assume that this man doesn't do well going the distance or beyond the first round. Like wild and sloppy even in the first round for the most part. Got a little bit of power, got decent size, all right guy. He's not bad, but all right, but nothing stellar about him. He got a little bit of power, and he's good in the first round, but lacking technique, lacking skill, lacking this, lacking that, and lacking endurance and that wherewithal. We don't know how well he could take a punch. But again, even when I'm not trying to drag it, I'm dragging. I just feel with this one, Negumereanu has more UFC experience. Ihor Potieria still is a very much a questionable factor. Negumereanu has went round, like he went rounds with Kimura, took damage from Kimura. Kimura ain't the heaviest hitter or anything like that, but took a lot of good shots from Kimura, and I never really seen him phase. Took some good shots from Canadian Chuba, and for the most part, I never seemed like wobbled and all slipping around, turned into a wet noodle. So again, not the heaviest hitters, but he took some decent shots, been in with some in the UFC and been some rounds, and, held his own. With Ihor Potieria, seemed like this guy kind of fades, and yeah, that experience and ability to go rounds and constantly be in people's face. I feel like that's a bad style for a guy who seemingly has questionable cardio, seemingly has a questionable mental game, and hasn't really been tested too much. Yeah, so I feel like Negumereanu gonna keep coming forward. He might not be the prettiest fighter or prettiest striker or anything like that. Pretty sloppy overall as a fighter. But I don't know, he's trying. We're gonna keep going forward. Take a shot to give a shot. Ihor Potieria probably gonna look okay in the first round, maybe even great in the first round, but Negumereanu just constantly come forward, constantly swinging, and invite him to this firefight. I feel like Negumereanu has shown, at least from a very broad sense, or what little we do know about each fighter, to be able to deal better in that situation than Potieria. Like take him, like constantly keep walking down over the course of rounds, taking shots, giving shots, invite him to that war. Both guys hurting each other, but Negumereanu been the one to constantly keep going forward, and Potieria start to break down due to that pace and due to that pressure and due to that volume. And I see him getting fading, and then Negumereanu put him away in the third round. So in this fight, I got Negumereanu via third round TKO.